No appetite for another labor fight. Governor Scott Walker says he has no intention of following Michigan's lead and signing right-to-work legislation here in Wisconsin.
Yeah, our Mike Lowe explains the governor says the anti-labor bill would, he feels, create more of a distraction and not create jobs. It's tonight's Political Lowdown.
Right to work. Supporters say it protects business, while opponents say it cripples labor unions. It's now the law of the land in Michigan. The question is, will Wisconsin be next? The labor protests in Michigan this week are reminiscent of the demonstrations in Madison in 2011. And Governor Scott Walker says he does not want a repeat of that divisive battle, so he says right-to-work legislation is not a priority.
It's as simple as that the leader of the state who's committed to growing more jobs, I recognize the last thing I need if I want to see accelerated job growth over the next 2 or 3 years is any sort of a battle that would take attention away from that.
Walker was in Pewaukee speaking at a workforce development meeting. He says he has 5 priorities: job creation, workforce development, education reform, government waste elimination, and transportation investment.
I was elected to hone in on these things. These are the 5 priorities I'm going to point out. And anytime a piece of legislation that comes up that distracts from that, we're going to draw both public and private attention towards saying that's not the right approach to do right now.
Michigan enacted sweeping legislation that threatens to cripple the labor movement in the state. The contentious right-to-work law effectively bars unions from requiring workers to pay dues. Supporters of the law say it frees workers to make their own choices and gives flexibility to companies making hiring decisions.
It's very concerning if you look at the polling that I've seen in Michigan about how the public there feels about right to work. They're not for it, and by a large margin. And so you have a legislature really voting, taking a major step against what most people in the state think should be happening.
Wisconsin Democrat John Richards says a right-to-work law in Wisconsin would hurt the workforce, creating lower-wage jobs.
I hope that we don't go down that road here. I think that's yet another divisive attack on working people in Wisconsin, and that's not the direction we should be going. We should be working to create jobs.
When asked if he would sign a right-to-work bill, Governor Walker said he wouldn't speculate on hypothetical legislation. Back to you.
Mike, thanks for that.
A tragedy hits a Racine family.
Their 15-year-old takes his own life while trying to get a small hide.
We're never going to get him back, but we have to be able to do something with this.